form of execution. It was a hideous, slow, and painful death. The condemned, the victim, the person who was condemned to die would be forced to carry their cross on a main road to the execution site. This was done for two reasons. First of all, the one that was condemned to carry this cross, this was to humiliate them, to bring shame to them for what they have done. But it was also to show the people, the public spectators, if you break the law, this will happen to you. It was not a pretty sight. Once they got to the execution site, the condemned would be nailed to the cross or bound with ropes. And this is what I have read and came up with. I want to share it with you this morning. This is the execution. This is the victim's hands would be nailed to a crosspiece and feet fastened with spikes to the upright. The body weight would be supported by a wooden peg driven into the upright, which the prisoner would straddle. Otherwise, the nails would tear through the palms of the hand when the cross was dropped into the socket of the ground. Naked, torn, and bleeding, under a blazing sun, the prisoner hung suspended between heaven and earth. Every rib became visible in an effort to breathe. Blood gushing into the abdomen cavity, causing swelling and pain. Fever and dehydration brought on a devouring thirst. To pain and thirst was added the further tortures of hunger, rigid fixation, swarming insects, and exposure to brutal spectators. Unless the executioner chose to hasten death by breaking the legs of the victims, which they done to both of them that were executed with Jesus, the victim of crucifixion would slowly die on that cross for as long as a week. It was not quick. Suffering until they went completely mad. Eventually, death would come through suffocation from bodily fluids collecting in the lungs. The victim would literally drown in their own body fluids. That is crucifixion. That is what our Savior endured for us. It was not pretty. It was not pleasant. It was a brutal sight.